Grand Rising to all my investors and stuff out there, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another entrepreneurial conversation show brought to you by Invest Media and what have you. This is officially episode number 7 today. Today's topic we're going to be talking about is getting clear with your message, because as a brand owner, it's very important for you to have a clear message of your brand, because especially if you're trying to get people to trust your brand, trying to understand what you do as a brand owner, what benefit does it bring to them, what have you, to invest in your brand and what have you. This is very important to understand. Your message got to be clear as possible. But before we jump into the topic for today, you know what time it is, man. If you are watching this playback of the show on our Invest YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and most importantly, hit that like button so the algorithm know this is a real pod show going on. And also, if you are listening to this playback of the show on our Spotify channel, make sure that you hit the follow button so you can be notified when a new episode drops. Very important. And also, we officially have launched the new Invest site, so definitely go over there and sign up. You will get a chance to spin the wheel and get a discount up to, I think is 15% and what have you. So whichever one it lands on, you will get that discount and what have you. So sign up on our emailing list and get a discount so you can be notified when anything happens within the Invest brand. You will be the first to know about it and what have you. So you can you can go over to investflagship.com. Make your way over to investflagship.com right now. You will be able to, this shirt right here, the Invest shirt, the Invest hat. So when you go over there, make sure you get on the waiting list. It's a lot of things that we have on the site. It's a waiting list for, because these things are specially made and what have you. So we building up our waiting list. So once our waiting list gets to a point where we want to launch this, our product and what have you, you will be the first one to get it. So definitely it's worth the wait. So go on there, see what you like, get on the waiting list before it's all taken up and what have you. So we don't want you to miss out on this perfect opportunity to invest in yourself. And this right here, I guarantee you, will start conversations. When you do wear it, people will ask you, what does this stand for? And Invest will stand for whatever you wanted to stand for. That's what we're going to stand for, because this is your shirt. This is your investment in yourself and what have you. But other than that, guys, you know what time it is, man. It's that segment we call the Spotlight News, guys. Spotlight News brought to you by Invest Media and what have you. Once again, it's coming straight from Instagram page of entrepreneurial.com and what have you. So today topic coming from the Instagram page, which you can go over there on Instagram page. You can find different articles, different posts and what have you. So today post we're going to be talking about is 5 ways to protect your mental health, which is very important, especially when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You definitely want to protect your mental health. We have 2 shows that you can go back and listen to in the archives where we talk about mental health and give you ways to be able to tackle that as an entrepreneur and what have you. So 5 ways they say in this article of this post that they posted on entrepreneur.com, what have you, on the Instagram page. So 5 ways to protect your mental health. We're going to start with the 5th thing that they have. The 5th thing that they have is build a support system, which is very critical. It's very important that you have a strong support system, because this entrepreneurial journey is going to be a journey that is going to be ups and downs. It's going to be long hours, hard times and what have you. And it's nothing like having a support system that's going to help you get through anything that is challenging in your journey, on your journey of entrepreneurship or what have you. So it's very important to find that. And they put underneath that is finding support system is critical for your well-being, impacting both mental and physical health in a world where social connection can be challenging. Tapping into online communities, especially on social media, has become global lifeline. And that's very important. That is definitely true. You got online communities out there that will help you as an entrepreneur, especially like-minded people in just as entrepreneurs, period. They don't have to be in the same market as you, doing the same thing as you, but just the fact that they are there to help you out. And you have somebody you can tap into and what have you, a mentor, whatever you are using to help you as a support system. Number 4 is you prioritizing professional help. And today world, you definitely want to have some type of professional help that you can call, that can help you, guide you, and what have you. Something that you may not be able to get within your support system, or you may not be able to get on an online community. You might need to tackle some professional help that can give you keys, can give you techniques, can give you things that you may be able to use. And they say so what they put underneath this is, in today's world, professional help is rarely available with just a tap of our smartphones. Telehealth visits, mental health apps and tools like EBT and DBT and mindfulness apps make it easy to incorporate professional support in our daily routines. So this is very important. You know what I'm saying? If you can find professional help that can help you, they saying they have mental health apps, whatever you can use as a tool to help you on your daily routine, to help you with anything that may be triggering you, emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever it is. If you want to go beyond this, like I said, you got therapists, you got psychologists, you got other professional people in the professional field to be able to help you. And that's where this is why they here for, is for to help you and what have you, right? So number 3 that they have on the list is create a mental wellness routine. And this is very important. You want to have a routine each and every day to make sure you have mental clarity, make sure you're mentally ready, mentally focused, and what have you. So underneath this, they have entrepreneurs worldwide can carve out time for a daily practice that nurtures both physical well-being and business success, whether it's meditation, gratitude, breath work, yoga, or simple walk. Daily practices or non-negotiable commitments to self-care. And that's very important. You want to be able to take care of yourself. Self-care is very important. So whatever you need to do as a mental wellness routine every day, you want to make sure you carve out time for it, because trust me, as an entrepreneur, you're going to need that. You're going to need anything that's going to help you stay focused, rather than you fall into depression, you fall into just the funk where you're not going to be able to use your creativity to be able to continue to push forward as an entrepreneur, to be creative, to be innovative, to do things that's going to help you in the long run as an entrepreneur learn, and whatever is going to hinder you from becoming the best entrepreneur as possible. So a daily mental routine is very something that you want to invest in and what have you. Number 2 is outsource and delegate. And this is very important. You know, jobs that may be tedious, take up a lot of time, your time to doing something that's very important that you need to be doing. You want to be able to outsource and delegate things that's going to help take things off your plate where you want to have to stress so bad of finishing things. So underneath this, they have outsourcing for entrepreneurs isn't shipping tasks aboard. It's about passing the baton and delegating, whether it's getting a hand with chores, enlisting social media support, or embracing a meal service. So different things that you can do, outsource and delegate, especially meal preps, things that's going to help, because, you know, as an entrepreneur, you get busy, so you may not have time to eat. That's what they said, embracing meal service. So anything that's going to help delegate you to you be able to have a nutrition meal, do what you need, because it's very important. You want to stay healthy, you want to stay fit as an entrepreneur. Just passing hand chores that needs to be done, daily chores, you can pass it on. So you want to stress about enlisting social media support, posting content and what have you. If you can find somebody who can post content for you, do other things. So it's not just business per se of outsourcing and delegating. It can be things, like I said, far as, you know, your daily meals, your daily chores, whatever you have to do, anything that can help lighten your load as as an entrepreneur, it's good to have some type of assistant and what have you, right? The number one thing on a list is accepting yourself. So that's a given. You definitely want to accept yourself, because if you cannot accept who you are and what have you, anything else that falls under number one really doesn't matter at all. Accepting yourself is one. That's why we have invest. Invest, it means investing in yourself. You are the greatest investment that you will ever invest in life and what have you. So definitely understand that. So that is the 5 things that they have, what have you. So you definitely can go on their Instagram page. You can check this post out. You can, when you see the post, it's going to say 5 ways to protect your mental health. So you can scan through it and look definitely what it is and what have you. So that's what it is, guys. So you know what time it is, man. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I definitely will be back right after this commercial break or what have you, with the segment we call Quote Me On That, where I read you a quote and I explain to you guys what the quote means. But other than that, I'll be right back. So make sure y'all tap back in to the entrepreneurial conversations. Yep. Welcome back to the entrepreneurial conversations that we're having today. Like I said, today we talking about is getting clear with your message and what have you. But other than that, man, you know what time it is. This is that segment called Quote Me On That, where I read you a quote and I explain to you what the quote means. So today, quote for all my entrepreneurs out there, people chasing their dreams, their goals and what have you, investing in themselves. Today, quote that I bring to you right now. Hold on, let me pull it up. Today quote is, having patience is a testament to your loyalty to building discipline. So let me read that one more time, just in case you didn't understand it or you didn't hear the message. The quote. Today quote is, having patience is a testament to your loyalty to building discipline. So what the quote mean basically is, order for you to be able to build discipline, you got to learn how to be patient. A lot of times as an entrepreneur, we don't become, we're not patient to be able to start building that discipline that we need, so we can be able to achieve, conquer any of the goals that we have set for ourselves, right? Because if you can't be patient and build your discipline to where you can start building, you can start knocking out little tasks here and there towards achieving your goals and what have you, you're not going to make it as an entrepreneur, right? So you got to learn how to be patient, right? You got to have patience, because once you become patient, you are building your discipline. It goes hand to hand. You have to be patient first in order for you to build discipline, right? Because if you're not a patient person, it's going to be hard for you to be disciplined. It goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, right? So that's the key thing as being an entrepreneur. You want to become disciplined. When you become disciplined, you become focused, right? And when you become focused, you're going to be able to create. You're going to be able to produce what? And when you producing, what does that produce? Results, right? You are achieving, you are producing results, right? And you are executing. And when you are executing, then there's no turning back from there. And that's the one key thing. That's one thing you want to do, is be able to execute. It's one thing to create something, make a plan or what have you, and not be able to execute it. And that's the key thing. So in order for you to be able to become disciplined, your discipline leads to you becoming more focused and what have you, so you can be able to produce results, execute your plan to be able to produce results. Just put it like that, right? So that is the key thing, guys. Become patient. Learn how to be patient. Whatever you need to do to practice of being patient, go through any type of drills, whatever you need to do to become patient, make yourself stronger in being patient. I encourage you to do it because that's going to help you build discipline, and that's the key thing. Becoming an entrepreneur is being disciplined and focused and what have you, right? But other than that, guys, that is the segment for today. Quote me on that and what have you. And you know what time it is, guys. It's that time for our topic. It's topic time. Like I said, today topic we're going to be talking about is getting clear with your message, because this is something that's very important as a brand owner, is being clear with your message. Because when you are out here trying to build your brand and get the eyes of the right people on your brand and what have you, right? Once you start getting people to be able to look towards your way, as you building your brand, people start asking questions and more eyes to get on your brand. You want to be able to have a clear message of what your brand is, what you stand for, what is the benefit they're going to get out of supporting your brand and what have you, right? And you want to make sure you clear on everything, because once you have attention of people, you only have 3 seconds to execute the plan that you need. Because if you cannot execute within them 3 seconds, you may lose them forever. Not saying sometimes you may lose them, but sometimes they might end up coming back. Depends on the person and what have you. Some people may give you a second chance. Some people may not. They might move on, because you got to understand brands are born every day. So you want to be a brand that sticks around, that people like and what have you, right? So once you get the eyes of the people on your brand and what have you, especially as a brand owner, you want to be able to have a clear message, right? And that's the key thing. And I have a couple things that goes into having a clear message, and hopefully this can be something that you can look and making sure that your message is very clear, right? So the first thing on the list is understand your brand identity, right? And this is something that's very important, right? So how do I understand my brand identity? You want to understand the mission, the vision, the values, and the unique selling proposition, right? These are the things that goes with your brand identity. You know what I'm saying? You want to ask yourself, right? Like, why does my brand exist? Why does it exist? That's one of the questions you want to answer. You want to ask yourself, then you want to answer and make sure you clear on the message. Why does it exist? The vision of it. Where do you see your brand in the future, right? You want to ask yourself these questions, because if you cannot vision your brand being here long term, then you're not going to be able to make it. You're not going to have your vision, if you don't see your brand being around for long term, then you're not going to be motivated to making sure that you are doing things that's working towards you being successful as a brand owner. And values. What's the principle guide? What principle guide your brand's decision and actions, right? So you want to ask yourself those questions, you know what I'm saying? What guides your brand? What's the decision and what's the actions and what have you, right? And your unique selling proposition, what makes your brand different? And that's the key thing. What makes your brand different than every other brand that's within the market that you in, right? What does your brand offer that the other brands don't? What does your brand? How can customers benefit from your brand where they are not benefiting from others and what have you? So that is something that you want to do when you creating your brand. What sets you apart from other brands that's already been doing this, or other entrepreneurs that's starting and what have you, right? That's one of the key things. Understanding your brand identity. The second thing on the list is know your audience, right? You want to know who your audience is, because the thing about it is, a lot of times we get into entrepreneurship and we try to sell our brand to everybody. But you got to understand, everybody may not need what you got to offer. Everybody might not like what you have to offer, right? So you want to make sure you're not wasting your time trying to get your brand in front of the wrong people, right? Like I said, if you try to sell to everybody, you're going to end up a lot of times not getting anybody, right? So you want to make sure it's that right avatar, it's that right group of people that you are marketing towards. You getting the right eyes that you need on your brand. So it's important for you to know the demographics of your brand. And what falls under demographics is age, gender, location, and what have you, right? So that's very important. And you have apps, you have things that's store whichever platform you use. You know, on Shopify have it where it can tell you everything: the age of the people that are coming to your site, the gender, the locations, and what have you, right? So these things are important to understand because this is going to help you know, okay, this is the group of people I need to target more. This is the age group that really liking what I have to offer, right? So once you can narrow it down to the right group of people, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to be able to market. Knowing your audience is very, very important to know that. And then you got to ask yourself, okay, what's the pinpoints of this? Is what problems do your customers face that your brand can solve? That's the key thing. What what problems can your brand solve when it comes to your customers, right? And that's the benefit part. How can they benefit from you? How can it solve? What problem does it solve for them? Because customers, they come to you with a problem. They might come to you with a problem far as they can't find anything nowhere else that fits them, their body frame, or other brands might not have the color that they're looking for and what have you, the style that they're looking for. So you want to make sure you are creating things that solves the problem of your customers, right? You may have your t-shirts may be specially made and it for loose fitting, and that's what they're looking for. They might not want the tight t-shirts, right? They want the soft, loose fitting t-shirts and what have you. And that's maybe something that solve a problem for sector of your customers and what have you. So that's very important to understand that, right? Knowing your audience, right? And then you also want to know what platforms to use, right? Where does your audience spend their time, right? Social media, emails, blogs, and what have you. But specific thing is what platform. You want to find that right platform because each platform you have to use in a different way. Each platform have a different age demographic, age group that uses it, right? So you want to make sure you own a platform where it's not particularly the audience that you need, the age group that you need. You might need to jump on Instagram where it's a lot more of a younger audience than Facebook may be. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you are using the right communication channels to be able to get your message or your brand known and what have you, right? So that's very, very important to understand. Number 3 is define your core message. What is your core message, right? What is your core message? So the things that fall underneath your core message is clarity. Keep it simple and straightforward because sometimes we try to make it sound better than we try to make it sound more than what it really is. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple, straight to the point, right? Because people know when you're trying to lead them on. People know when you're trying to make it more than what it really is. So if you can just stay your authentic self, keep it simple and straightforward, right? Consistency, right? And what's consistency? Um, ensure that you are being clear across all platforms that you are used, right? You want to be consistency with your message and being clear with it, right? You don't want to say one thing on one platform and you saying another on another platform. Now, when it comes to now you using your content, you may change up some of the words. Say, for instance, you post on Instagram, you might use a caption, you might use this, right? But on Facebook, when you post, you might use the same image without the caption. You might use something totally different. That's not you being inconsistent. You are being consistent. with your message. Everything ties in with each other. So just be consistent with your message across your whole platform. And also, you want to be clear on your brand identity across each platform. You don't want to have your brand seem like it's this on one platform, then you go to another platform, it's seeming like it's something else, it's something different, and what have you. So definitely you want to be consistent with your core message and what have you, right? Relevancy. Tailor your message to address your audience needs and pain points. So that's very important to understand. You got to address your audience needs, okay? Because when your audience, when your audience or your customers, whatever you want to call them, are looking for somewhere else to go to, you want to be able to you want to make sure you are addressing their needs, because they looking at, okay, how can I benefit from your brand, supporting your brand, buying something from your site? How can this benefit me? How can this shirt benefit me? How can these pants, these hat, how can this benefit me? Or it's a service of advice that you are offering, help and what have you. How can this help me? Needs. Customers always look, when they buy for their needs, right? Sometimes they buy for their wants, but they may need this. This is what I need, and what have you. So this is very important to understand that. And another thing, when it falls underneath core message, is defining your core message is emotions. Emotions, is connect on an emotional level to build a strong relationship. And that's something that's very important too. You want to be able to connect with your customers, especially on an emotional level, because when you are building your brand, you also going to be building community, and people going to join your community on the simple fact they feel like this is somewhere they can be themselves, right? This is a community where they feel like they are heard, their ideas is heard. They can offer you feedback, and you are all open ears and you respond to it and what have you, right? So this is something that's very important, because customers want to feel like they are part of something, especially when you're building a community. They definitely want to make sure they part of a community that feels like it's family. It's feel like this is somewhere they can go, and you as a brand owner is they can reach out and they can communicate with you and what have you. So it's very important to understand that, guys. That's very important. And number 4 on my list is develop a consistent brand voice. And what falls underneath consistent brand voice is tone, language, and personality. And when it comes to your tone, you want to make sure it's a tone which people can gravitate towards. It's a tone that doesn't scare people away, or they feel is abrasive. They feel like this is tone is like a threatening tone. No, you want to use a tone that is going to get people to come to your site. They feel comfortable. They feel like, okay, this is the way this person is talking is making me feel comfortable. Like if I go to their site, it's going to be something of I'm going to support right away, because I feel like this person is trustworthy and what have you. So tone is everything, because sometimes tone can get misinterpreted, right? Too, especially through text communication, emails, and this is maybe the way that you speak, right? This may be just be your tone. It's not a tone where you trying to threaten anybody. It's not a tone that you yelling at anybody and what have you. This is just the way you talk, because you're very passionate. Sometimes people can take your passionate ways as being disrespectful and what have you. So you definitely want to make sure, if you're using a tone, you want to make sure it's consistent and it goes with your brand voice, your voice of your brand and what have you, right? Definitely. Sometimes it could be a formal tone, informal tone, friendly tone, authoritative tone. It could be any type of tone, but make sure it's a tone that doesn't scare people away or feel a disrespected tone or what have you. Language, you want to use language that resonate with your audience, right? Language that's going to be that representing your brand. Because this ties into your brand voice, because when you, the type of tone, the language, and the personality is what's going to make your brand what it is, right? So you want to make sure you use a language that's going to resonate with your audience, because you don't want to use language that's going to work against what you trying to do as a brand owner and what have you. So that's very important to understand that. And personality reflects the personality reflects the brand personality in all communications, right? So personality is something that people really gravitate towards. If you have the personality, a likable personality, you're going to have people that's going to want to listen to you all day long. People going to come to your page to follow you, to see what you have going on, because your personality sticks out. Your personality sells your brand. People love who you are, right? This is something that's going to be part of your brand voice that sticks out as a brand owner. And it's very important to understand that. Make sure you're developing a consistent brand voice that's going to speak for your brand or what have you, right? It's very important. Very important. Number 5 is utilize the appropriate channels. And utilizing the appropriate channels, meaning website, social media, email marketing, advertising, and content marketing, right? So, your website, you want to make sure the clarity of your website, especially when it comes to your homepage, your about pages, your product descriptions, you want to make sure the clarity of it is something that's clear, understanding, because like I said, you only have 3 seconds to capture their attention. You want to make sure from your social media to your website is a tunnel of people. It's going to lead people to buying what you have on your website, because now people understanding that it goes, your social media content goes right along with the theme of your website. So no one's confused. The clarity of it, the understanding of it, and they know what your brand message is about. And when they are on your site and they looking at it, they can hear your brand voice all throughout the time they on your site. Like I said, you got 3 seconds, guys, 3 seconds to capture their attention. And what I say, email marketing, communicate directly with personalized and clear messaging. So this is your chance to email your customers, to continue to have them as recurring customers, or people that sign up on your emailing list that's thinking about buying something. You want to make sure if it's a forget cart, if it's we have a sale going on, anything that you use as your email marketing to gain your customers, to continue to have recurring customer, to continue to attract customers to coming back. It's like a funnel to keep continue to come back and buy from you month in and month out and what have you. Advertising, if you're advertising on the website, through your content and what have you, you want to make sure your message is straightforward, and it's something that it's a message that feel like people can benefit from, what have you. So it's like a benefit type of focused message that you have, because people want to know if they can benefit from what you got to offer and what have you. And content marketing, which is, we all know, videos, posting, blogs, and whatever you. This is something that's going to go with your core message, along with your core message and what have you. So this is what's very important to understand, guys. You want to make sure that your message is very clear. You're very clear on your message, what you are as a brand owner and what have you, right? So that's very important to understand. And the last thing on my list is gather feedback. You definitely want to gather feedback. This is something I put on here, is gather feedback, because it's very important. Because when you gather feedback can help you get clear on your message too, when you gathering feedback. So gathering feedback will be more so that all of us use surveys, polls, analytics, social media, listening, and what have you. Whatever you use to gather your feedback, this is going to definitely help you making sure that your message is clear. You might have to change a couple things depending on what is said through your surveys, polls, your analytics, whatever your social media is saying. You want to make sure that you are taking heed to what it's saying, so you can be able to make the proper changes that needs to be changed. What it say? Ask surveys and polls. We already know what it is. Ask your audience directly through their thoughts and what have you. Analytics. You use tools to measure engagement and response rates and what have you. Social media listening. You want to that's monitoring your audience and seeing what they saying about your brand on social media, what have you. So those are important things to help you have a clear message, anything of that sort and what have you. So if this is you, if you feel like your brand message is not clear enough, you can go through this and see and ask yourself these questions. Is these questions go along with my message that I already have? If it doesn't, what have you, you have to change some things around and what have you. If you want to create a survey, a poll, asking people like, hey, how you feel about my brand? Is the message clear? Do you understand and what have you? So it's things that you can do to make sure that you are clear on your message when it comes to you, when it comes to your brand. It's very important to understand that, guys. But other than that, man, thank y'all for tapping in and tuning into another entrepreneurial conversation that we have today. Like I said, make sure that you are subscribing to this channel. Make sure you hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when a new show drop. And also hit that like button and make your way over to investflagship.com right now. Get on the waiting list so you won't be left out. Wait list for the hat and shirt. You won't be left out because when we run out of room on the waiting list, you might have to wait till the next drop. But other than that, man, I do not want you to wait. So make sure you make your way over there right now, guys, right now. But other than that, man, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll holler at y'all next Monday. Yep.